What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Coach Carl, and I'm coming to y'all from inside my personal home gym. Now, this is going to be a question and answer session. For the last couple of weeks, since I started uploading a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, I realized that a lot of y'all had a lot of questions about some simple stuff that I can actually answer. So today, I'm going to take a stab at it. I'm going to do my best to try to answer as many of the questions as I can remember. But first of all, let me stop and thank each and every one of y'all. I have now reached 2,000 subscribers, and I am this close to 100,000 views on my channel. So I'd like to thank y'all for that. Now, let me take my time, go through a couple of the questions, give you some of my better answers, and hopefully we can keep going. We can keep this process going. You want to learn it? I want to teach it. Let's make it happen. Question number one. People like to ask me if I run with a watch on or an app of some sort, and how do I track, my calories burned and my miles run and my speed and all that. I don't wear a watch, but I use an app on my iPhone called Run Keeper. Run Keeper is amazing. What that app allows you to do is it allows you to track your biking, your walking, your running, among other things. And what you do is you set the app, and it talks in your ear every 5 minutes, and it tells you exactly where you are and exactly how fast you're going, how many calories you burn, and your distance. And so if you're jogging, for instance, and you realize that I should be jogging a little faster, then you can speed it up once you hear the app talk to you in the first 5 minutes. But every 5 minutes, it's going to come back, and it's going to keep talking to you, and it's going to keep telling you where you are, what you need to do, and let's get it. And so that's the app I've been using since 2013, and it's been solid. It's been helping me track, my progress. Now, question number two. Do my knees or my legs hurt when I run? Not really, but they used to. All right, let me tell you what I did. I used to run all the time, and then at one point, my left knee started hurting, and then my foot started hurting. Couldn't understand why. So I talked to a friend of mine that's into buying a lot of sneakers, and he said, I can tell you what your problem is right now. It's your shoe. So at the time, I was buying little $69 shoes. Not the $69 shoes is bad, but they don't last as long. So I started upping my ante a little bit, spending a little bit more money and buying a better quality shoe. And right now, I'm running in some Brooks, but they wearing out. It's about that time. And so I just bought some Saucony, I guess that's how you say it, Saucony Endorphin 3. I've saw that the 4 came out, but I heard a lot of people talk about the 4 and they say they like the 3 better. So I bought the 3, and we're going to make an attempt to try those in the upcoming days. And because I have flat feet, maybe I need better shoes, and I need to upgrade them a little bit more regularly. So if that seems to be your problem, if out of the blue, all of a sudden your knees, your back, or your feet started hurting, check your shoes. Question number 3. How long have I been seriously training? Well, I came up as a young man taking karate and doing boxing. And then I got out of it for a while, and then I started back into karate again for a couple of years, and I ended up being an instructor. And during the time when my sons was in karate, I started teaching karate then. Then my sons did 10 years in karate. Then they decided they didn't want to do karate no more, so they wanted to do boxing. So then I went in and got my boxing coach's license, and I started teaching boxing. And that was in 2009. So from 2009 to 2019/20, I had a boxing team. We was traveling. I was able to teach a lot of guys, get them in some of the major tournaments in Ohio and Georgia. And we had a good time. But one of the biggest problems about teaching all the time is you don't work out all the time, because you can't be the guy in front signing new students up and encouraging parents to sign their students and themselves up, and you sweating all over the place, shirts wet and the whole 9 yards. So for a couple of years, I wasn't training. Then all of a sudden, in 2013, I just happened to be walking past the mirror, nothing specific, get ready to take a shower, came home from teaching everybody else, and my belly was poking out. And that's not a scene I like to see. So at that point, I decided on August the 12th, 2013, I was going to start training. So I started off training, and in the first 60 days, I lost 60 pounds, and it just story goes on from there. And now here we go, years later, I'm in good shape. And I'm encouraging all of y'all to be in good shape. Now, the next question is, how many times a day do I train? I used to train once a day. Then I come up with these challenges because I'm always challenging myself to do something different. So I come up with this challenge that I'm going to do something for 30 days. Then after I do it for 30 days, it gets easy and then I don't want to stop. So right now, I'm training 3 times a day. I train early in the morning from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. I train again from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then I train again from 1:30 to 2:30, and at 3 o'clock, that's when I eat. Y'all know how I eat. I don't eat that much, but when I do eat, I eat. Now, people ask me, how do I motivate myself to train? Well, it's kind of like this. I'm self-motivated. I know what I want to do with my life, and I know how I want to do it. And the thing was just finding a process to get me there. So every morning when I wake up, first thing I do is thank God for waking up. And I said, it's time to make it happen. And I get up out of bed and I come downstairs and I start training. And I put on earbuds, I turn up music, and I let the stories guide me. So if it's a nice song with a nice storyline, oh, I'm deep. If it's digging deep, I'm digging deep. If it's hitting hard, I'm hitting hard. And, you know, I just kind of always said that I like to tell people what I've done. So if I'm going to go running and I'm saying when I leave home, I'm going to run 3 miles, but I get to 2.5 and I think about quitting, I start thinking about when I tell somebody that I did this 3 miles, how good it's going to feel to be able to say, I did this 3 miles and look at my time. So I'm kind of self-motivated. I just kind of motivate myself to be in a position to where I can share it with somebody, I guess you would say. And so I don't like taking shortcuts. And no, I don't use no enhancers. I don't do no pre-workout in the whole 9 yards. My pre-workout is getting up out the bed, thanking God that I'm alive, and coming downstairs and putting my time in. Because I realize what I put into this body, I get out of this body. Okay, let's see, what we working with? How do I eat? Am I vegetarian, vegan, or other? Well, all my life, I used to eat everything they sold in the store. Then in 2013, when I got on this new plan to train myself and to get myself in better shape, I was eating salads and chicken every day. And I got to the point where I was eating so much chicken, I didn't want to eat chicken no more. So I go to the store, and I had these little numbers written down of how many calories, carbs, protein, fat, sugar, and sodium that was in all of the stuff that I was eating. So I went around and had my little notepad, and I walked around the store, and I would go and look at stuff, and I would read the labels. And that's when you realize that a lot of stuff you eating, you shouldn't be eating. So I was trying to find a substitute for just eating chicken all the time. And I didn't want to eat beef. I didn't want to eat turkey. I didn't want to eat none of that other stuff. So I went into the vegan section by accident. And when I was in there, I started reading about the plant-based chicken. And I realized that it had just as many proteins. It had little carbs and, and everything else. The numbers started adding up. So I started buying it. Then when I realized that it tastes pretty good and, I made it work, I stuck with it. And before you knew it, one day I was vegetarian and I was still drinking milk. I was still eating cheese. And I said, well, you know what? Let me see what it's like to cut those things out and see how I would work without those things. And then when I realized I didn't need them, I kept going. And before you know it, I was 10 years being a vegan, and that's how it happened. So now I'm strict about it. I'm strict about being healthy, so I don't cheat. And how many calories do I eat a day? I tend to eat between 1,500 and 2,400, depending on what the day is, depending on how hard I train that day. But I've never eaten more than 2,400 calories per day since 2013. I just like the way I feel being the size I'm at. At one point, I was 201 or 2 pounds. Then I got down to like 160. And then when I got down to 140, oh, I was feeling it. Six pack looking good, chest cutting up. I'm doing good. So I like the way I feel. I'm 5'6", 140 pounds. I like that feeling, so I stay in my bracket. I drink about 140 grams or eat 140 grams of protein per day, mixed with a protein bar and, peanuts and fruit. And eat plant-based chicken. I eat plant-based fish. I eat some rice. I eat some spaghetti noodles with the just sauce with no meat in it. And I use the crumbles, the vegan crumbles, to make my spaghetti from time to time. I eat a lot of vegan chicken noodle soup. I eat salads, but when I eat a salad, I eat what's considered a garden salad, and that's a salad with just cucumber, tomato, vegan cheese, croutons, and plant-based dressing. Oh, when I eat, I eat. I don't eat a lot, but when I eat, I eat. Let's see. What's the longest I've walked, run, or biked? The longest I've walked is 14.53 miles at one time. The longest I've run is 10 miles, and the longest I've biked is 50 miles. Like I said, I like to create these challenges, and every now and then I just pick a challenge and I just say that night. I wake up the next morning, I load the backpack, and I go to it. And I've never quit in the middle of a challenge. Just, like I don't know how to quit. I go until I can't go no more. And that's what I try to encourage other people. You can't do 15 miles walking or 10 miles running or 50 miles biking. But do what you can, because anything beats a zero. What sport do I follow the most? Boxing. Yeah, I love boxing. I came up loving boxing. I like karate. I like karate because karate was an art. It wasn't about beating people up. It was an art. Outsmarting, outwitting, outpointing. And so when I went into teaching boxing, I didn't teach people how to go in and try to just beat the other guy up. What I did is I taught them to outbox them. That was my theory. Learn the blocks, learn the punches, learn the combinations, learn how to build your body so that you can have the best body for the job. And then, if you beat them up, you beat them up. But boxing, I really like boxing. It's just that where boxing is now is not where I would like boxing to be. I'm a very big fan of Lomachenko. I'm a big fan of Keyshawn Davis. I like Javante Davis. I like a lot of those guys. But I like it when they fight people. I like it when they fight people that are equivalent to their talent. Because if you put a guy in a ring with a guy that's less his talent, and he beats the guy up, and then you get a guy props, I don't see how you did that. I like it when you put a guy in the ring that's equivalent to his talent, like Lomachenko fighting Devin Haney. That was an equivalent talent fight. Or Kambosa fighting Lomachenko. That was an equivalent talent fight. I don't like when the fighter be up here and the other fighter be down here. And then when this guy wins, he's supposed to win. So I'm a fan of the art. So I like to see the art being displayed. I like to see the proper amount of jabs, the proper amount of combinations, the correct movement. So I teach that. It's the only way I know. I don't teach getting in the ring and just run across the ring trying to beat somebody up. No, I want to outwit and outsmart and out-talent the other guy. That's why I love boxing. Now, let me think. Is there a question that I've been asked? Like, how do I decide, like, what kind of crunches I'm going to do? Well, I look at it like this. I started off with a crunch routine that was basically knees bent crunches, legs flat crunches. You know, hold your legs up in the air at a 45-degree angle and reach for your toes. And then I started doing the elbow to knees. And then I started doing the plank. And then somewhere along the line, I got a six-pack. And so I don't know which one built six-pack. So when I talk to my son, I call it the sub sandwich theory. Sub sandwich, like a 6-inch turkey and cheese sub sandwich. I used to go to the store and I used to buy one all the time. And it had lettuce, tomatoes, vinegar and oil. It had hot peppers. It had turkey. It had 2 different types of cheese. And even though I don't like, per se, tomatoes or some of the other things, I didn't know what to take out the sandwich. Because if I took anything out, it might make the sandwich taste different. So that's the same way I feel about crunches. I don't know which crunch to take out. So by leaving all the crunches in, it make the whole six-pack stand out. So I call it the sub sandwich theory, where I don't know what to take out of my sub sandwich, so I just leave it all in there and I just eat it. It's amazing how chefs work. Because a chef can go in the kitchen and have all these different things, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden this meal tastes immaculate. Take one thing out and it tastes different. Well, I don't want to test taking that one thing out. So I leave everything in, which is kind of how when I build a routine, I never change the routine. So once again, I'd like to thank y'all for taking the time to log in. And as y'all know, I'm online every day. I'm posting something at least 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. Sometimes I get carried away and I just don't want to save it. So I make it and I post it. And y'all know that, I'm not charging nobody for nothing, but I do got a Cash App. So, if y'all see something that y'all like and y'all think, man, if I keep a couple of nickels in this guy's pocket, he can keep making these videos, by all means, send me $1 or $2. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give you this information because God gave it to me, so I'm giving it back to you. But I hope I'm encouraging and inspiring people to become champs. I hope I'm encouraging you to lose 5 pounds. I hope I'm encouraging you to cut some things out of your diet and put some things better that's in your diet that make you a little bit more healthier, and so we can all live long and live the quality of life, because I don't want to live to 100 and then my quality of life for the last 25 years is shady. If I meet 100, I want to be still doing the same thing you see me doing now. I want to be waking up in the morning at 1 a.m. and going running at 2 a.m. and the whole 9 yards. I want to do all of that. But when y'all start thinking, start trying to put together when you're going to start this, it's no better time than now. It's no better time than now. So don't procrastinate. Don't complain. Just train. So once again, it's your boy Coach Carl, and I'm coming to y'all live from Hampton, VA, formerly the home of the art of boxing. So I'd like to thank y'all for taking time out to hear what I had to say. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that. Hit the notification icon so that my stuff just keep coming to you. Blah, 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 blah. It's like punches. Keep coming to you. Blah, 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 blah. All right, once again, peace, and I'm out.